Hey everyone, welcome back to the SunnySide. I'm Sonny, and today we're going to look at Jonathan Pryce, his birth chart, and his chances for winning the Oscar this Sunday for Best Actor, as far as I know, Best Actor. Now, I didn't see the movie The Two Popes, although I was on a long car ride once and I had two popes, but that's a different kind of story. That's a different. I just read the thing. All right, for those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer, and if you want your chart read, check it out in the description box below. This is going to be a mini reading, and then I'm going to show you a very fast, cut and dry mini reading, and then we're going to show you some stuff on how we go about predicting stuff. So if you want a personal reading, check it out in the description box below. On top of that, we have a really cool app out here. It's called TheSunnySide Astrology, and there's a link in the description box below. All right, here we go. Jonathan Pryce, The Two Popes. Oh, so there's a couple of things first. As we continue, so this is his chart. He doesn't have this is the stuff we're going to look at in a second. This is the stuff we're looking at to find out if he's going to win, and that's the stuff, I'd be looking at. Over here, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more, but that's what, by and large, what I'm looking at. In addition to that, there's a little bit more. But in addition to that, I don't have his birth time. So I can't really do 11th house transits because we don't really know what's going on in the 11th house here. So where the 11th house really is in his chart. So we're going to have to look at other stuff here and figure it out. In addition to that, without his birth time, I put his sun on the ascendant here, so he's not a Gemini rising, and I don't really know who he is, and I can't really guess, but that's the deal. All right, let's get down to the mini reading. So Jonathan Pryce is a Gemini. All right, there you go. And he has a lot so we do it when we don't have birth time, we do distance from the sun to set things up, and then we do our best. So here we go. This guy's got an interesting chart, seriously. So first up, he's a Gemini rising, so he could be a very communicative person. He doesn't have to he's not necessarily a chatty Cathy, but Gemini risings are information junkies. He's probably always asking questions. He probably has lots of friends. He probably spends a lot of time on the phone. But having said all of that, there's a but in this entire situation. Having said all of that, we have Saturn 3 houses away from his sun. That would indicate, and Pluto here. So this would indicate either someone who has a death in the family when they were younger, like his brother or his sister died. It could also indicate someone who's very actually reserved in his words. Although it's in Leo, loud and proud Leo, it's probably someone who, is very systematic in his speaking, or someone who chooses his words very carefully. He's not, although he's a Gemini, he's probably not a chatty Cathy. In addition to that, so that's the deal first off. Next, he's probably an unusual kind of cat. Uranus in the first house indicates someone who's a little bit unusual. He can be prone to sudden and unexpected oddities. He might look a little bit funny. I don't even really know what he looks like, because I saw a picture, but I didn't memorize what he looks like. He anyways, so I was just thinking, when I had those two popes driving, when I went on that car trip and I had those two popes, my eyes were closed most of the time. I was like, so I just read the thing, Sonny. All right, so that's the deal. He might have some oddity or oddness about the way he looks, or the way he presents himself. Maybe he has a weird scar on his face, or maybe he wears some kind of handkerchief, or he has some distinguishing characteristic about him. On top of that, let's cruise around. He has Venus and Mars behind his sun. So I'm using terms like behind his sun because obviously we don't know the houses here. So this would indicate, and it's in Taurus, right? And it's in Taurus. So he's obviously a very lucky person. When Venus and Mars are this close together, it indicates someone who's very lucky. In addition to that, he probably has a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes to him, meaning he might get into secret relationships as well. Adam Driver has this in his chart. He has this similar aspect in his chart with regards to Venus, I think, from what I remember. So for Jonathan Pryce, he probably has secret relationships, probably does things secretly. He has to watch out for being backstabbed, guys stabbing him in the back. He probably has a significant amount of haters as he cruises through life. In addition to that, In addition to that, he has his north node right here in Gemini, this close to the sun. That means he has a tendency to, that would make his south node over here in Sagittarius. So he can be a fairly preachy person at times, I would imagine. He can be a bit of a teacher at times, telling people what to do maybe. Maybe he's a bit of a prima donna. But he can't be a prima donna because he has Saturn over here in Leo. Saturn in Leo is like the opposite of a prima donna. But, with the south node in Sagittarius, he's quick to absorb a lot of information. He probably likes to travel, and he's probably an exceptionally philosophical and optimistic person. Cruising along, a big action is down here in Scorpio. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of Scorpio energy in the Academy, in the leading men this year. So far, there's a bunch of Scorpio energy. So the moon's in Scorpio. This is a guy who's probably sincerely very psychic. The moon forms an inconjunct with his sun. This means he's going to end up doing some exceptional things in this world. He's going to be a special figure in this world, and he's going to accomplish some good things. Once again, he has a very close relationship with the occult. He probably sees dead people. He probably likes Ouija boards and stuff like that. And his Jupiter is also here. But in this position, he'd have to watch out for health problems as he cruises through life. So that's the deal. Quick and dirty horoscope, right? Quick and dirty astrology here. He has to watch out for health problems, and he has to watch out very closely for personal finances and his sexuality. He might get taken advantage of. I don't know that he's going to get taken advantage of sexually, but he's going to have to watch out for getting taken advantage of financially in relationships. And that's the quick and dirty astro for this guy. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like an interesting guy. He seems like a lot of fun. He's probably really smart. He's an outside of the box kind of thing, because it's in Gemini, right? Mercury in Gemini is someone who's naturally curious, naturally really smart, naturally can ingest a ton of information. And that's the deal. Moon in Scorpio is a cool placement. I've got my moon in Scorpio. I think it's pretty good. I talk to dead people. I have an astrology channel here. So I think it's, that's about as occult as it gets. And that's the deal. The only thing he really has to watch out for, he has to watch out for his health a little bit. And maybe watch out, he probably is very much a people person. Like, he probably gives a lot in his relationships. And there's a potential that he could get taken advantage of financially. All right, let's see if he's going to win the Oscar here. I'm curious, man. All right. Remember to download the app, guys. And if you want a personal reading, just check out how to do it in the description box below. And obviously, personal readings aren't this speedy. All right, next. So, the 11th house from the sun. So we don't really have the 11th house here. So we're going to do 11th house from the sun. And that's going to make 12, 11. And so right here, there's nothing going on. There's a lot going on here. It's very close. So you see this Venus right here? Well, I guess it's close. So with this Venus right here, this is going to make him very popular right now. He's probably attracting a tremendous amount of attention. And he's very popular, a lot of attention. This is the type of thing, if it's in your chart transiting, it means when you go outside, it's going to be busy. So if you go to the gym, it's going to be busy and everyone's going to know who you are. If you go to the coffee shop, it's busy. Lots of stuff outside, busy. People are going to walk up to you and say hello. So he's attracting a lot of attention. But it's right here. This is where he's supposed to, this is where he's supposed to get the benefit of all of this recognition. So right off the top of the bat, I don't necessarily think he's going to win anything. Let's see what else is just off the top, just a quick thing. I think he's very popular. Like you guys are going to see when you watch the rest of the series, a lot of guys here are going to be popular. A lot of guys have potential to win this award, or else they wouldn't be nominated. But we have to see who's actually going to win it. Okay, so that's the first thing. He doesn't really have anything here, any applying or separating aspects, anything good happening to him, to his sun, anything at 9 degrees kicking around here? Not yet. See, this is at 7 degrees, but this south node, which would indicate the past, or the North Node, which have been something very good is going to happen in his future, or bad, you know. Let's just say that the South Node up here is your past, and this is kind of your destiny. But these planets move backwards. This not planets, sorry. The nodes move backwards. And that means it's a separating aspect from his sun. His sun is 9 degrees, 8, 7. This stuff is moving away. So he had a potential for something. A couple of weeks ago, he would have had his big destiny moment. Right now, it doesn't look good for a destiny moment. What else is happening? 9 degrees, anything 9 degrees? I'm not seeing it, guys. Astrologically, this guy is very popular, but I don't think Jonathan Pryce is going to win the award. Actually, I'm super convinced. I give him like a 2.5. A 2.5 chance to win. But like, you guys know who's going to win the award, man. Everybody knows Brad Pitt's going to win the award. So like, you think Brad Pitt's going to win? I think it's Brad Pitt or Joaquin Phoenix. But I just look at Adam Driver's chart, and he has a real solid chance in this. All right, that's the action. Hope everyone has a super amazing day. Please download the app. Please share the videos. Have a lot of fun, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.